Omicron, the super mutant, has reached India, making India the 29th country in the world to have declared a positive case of Omicron. Now, there are two men who have been found to have this particular strain of corona, and this includes a 66-year-old who has a travel history as far as South Africa is concerned, and a 46-year-old person who is a healthcare worker. All the primary, secondary and tertiary contacts of this individual, which number over 200, have now been isolated and quarantined. Let's take this across to my colleague Meghna, who's with us with more details. Meghna, I believe these individuals are a 46-year-old and a 66-year-old. Any more details that the authorities there in Karnataka have shared with us?
Well, yes. In fact, our colleague Deepak Bopanna has managed to access the BBMP release, which they have given complete details of these two patients who've been tested to be positive for Omicron. Well, the first one, as you rightly put it, a 66-year-old man. His sample was collected at the airport, after which on the 22nd he had arrived with a negative RT-PCR report from South Africa. Then when he was tested at the airport, he tested positive as per the BBMP. Following which, on 23rd, he took another investigation, conducted another test in a private lab where he tested negative. So how did that happen? These discrepancies need to be looked into. Following which, once he got a negative report, within overnight on 27, he checked out and he left for Dubai. What we do know so far, as per the BBMP, that the above person checked out on the 27th of November at midnight and took a cab to the airport, and then he traveled to Dubai. Where is he right now? We don't know. Did he stay in Dubai? Did he leave or go somewhere else from Dubai? There is no clarity so far. However, what we do know, and this is very important, that there are at least 24 primary contacts of this 66-year-old man. All of them have so far tested asymptomatic. They have all reported negative. In addition to that, there are several 240 to be precise secondary contacts which have been traced. So far, the silver lining is that all of these people have tested negative, at least for now. The details of the second one. This is a 46-year-old health worker. On the 22nd of November, he was developing symptoms of fever, body ache. He underwent an RT-PCR test. He was declared positive at 4 p.m. on 2nd of November. Following which, they started the entire
All right. Several
tracing.
comprehensive details there of those two individuals. One of them, of course, has a travel history to South Africa and later even left the country for Dubai, is the information coming in. The other person is a healthcare worker who tested positive as early as the 22nd. Over 200 people who've then been isolated. Thanks so much for all those details there, Meghna. Let's quickly take this across to all our guests. Joining us with us is Dr. N.K. Mehra, Honorary Emeritus Scientist from the ICMR. Dr. Mehra, let me begin with you, sir. Very, very important over here that these individuals, they have first tested positive over 10 days ago. We do know that currently all of those cases, particularly those who have been traveling from abroad, have had this genome sequencing done and thereby arrived at the fact that they have been infected by this particular variant. Now, in the case of an individual who's a healthcare worker, this probably means that he could have been potentially infected even while he was on his job, which means that the variant could have been here before that.
That's true, Madhav, and this is also something that we have seen in Holland as well. You know, although the first case was known from Botswana and then the sequencing was done in South Africa, and we came to know on 22nd of November that we have a new variant there. But in Holland, the situation seems to be even worse because they are saying that they have even looked at some of the cases that came earlier than that. So we don't know. I think the situation is developing day after day. We need to have some more data now. Possible that this man who has never had a history of travel has come into contact with somebody who was found to be positive.
Well, absolutely. But Dr. Mehra, there are in fact a lot of panic, there's a lot of confusion surrounding this particular variant. While of course we believe and the information available currently points towards the fact that it could perhaps be more transmissible, more infectious, there is also information coming in that at least as of now, several of those who have been infected with this variant have been reporting comparatively milder symptoms. Can you confirm that to our viewers? Of course, there is no need for any kind of complacency. Everybody will have to take adequate precautions as well.
We are actually concerned about three aspects of the virus. One, of course, is that is it more contagious? And the data so far indicates from South Africa, yes, it is, because suddenly in the last 10 days, their test positivity rate had jumped up from maybe, I think, 10 to 16 or so. Earlier, it was only down to 1. So that shows that the virus is definitely contagious. The second is it immune evasive? At the moment, the data is very, very minor, but it seems to us that it is not going to be immune evasive. The third is it causing a very serious disease or not? And you have said it very, very right, and the data is very, very clear all over the world. Not a single case has so far been found to have a very serious infection there. So I think there should be no cause of panic. There should be no cause of worry. Maybe that this virus,
right,
we talk of a good virus and a bad virus.
Well, how will it further mutate remains to be seen. But I want to quickly bring in Dr. Bagai, who's also with us. Dr. Bagai, one of the persons who was infected with Omicron was fully vaccinated. One of them partially vaccinated. Be that as it may, vaccinations in this country being less than 50% at this point of time, do you think that this should be a wake-up call for all, not just the citizens, but also policy planners, governments across the country to push for quickly vaccinating the significant chunk of our eligible population?
Yes, Madhav. I think vaccination is the greatest public intervention tool. Without any element of doubt, it decreases the incidence of disease. It decreases the viral load in the patients. It makes the disease more mild, even if you have a breakthrough infection, which is extremely rare after the vaccination. On the flip side of the coin, if the patients are vaccinated and they still get it, they've been saved by the vaccine. Otherwise, they may have landed up with more critical disease. I think that's the important point to highlight here. And even if you have a 50% Indian population, although we need to step up the drive very aggressively, a 50% Indian population fully vaccinated and 84% unvaccinated is a fairly good number to start stopping the community transmission and host-to-host transmission. With regards to this virus, my esteemed panelist, Dr. Narendra, has already highlighted there are certain points which we need to be very cautious of. But like I said, this particular variant is in its infancy. We have to see which way it actually behaves and how it clinically manifests. But really, to reiterate, there should be no panic. There should be preparedness, but no panic. There should be caution and not callous behavior.
Right.
This is a huge period of marriages. And my only request to everyone is avoid such crowds.
Dr. Bagai and Dr. Mehra, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us and dispelling a lot of myths. This is a time for all of us to take abundant caution. There's no need for panic, but certainly precautions will have to be taken. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening, slipping into a very quick break.